Hello and welcome to Season 2 of Amp It Up with me, Naran. This is Season 2, which means we are going to level up a little. So make sure you're ready to sweat it out. In today's session, I will be speaking a little bit about routine. Very little on that. Before we get to that, let's make sure we start the warm-up. Now for the warm-up, we will have 2 rounds, 4 movements, 30 seconds each. I hope you guys are excited for Season 2, because I am. Now let's get ready for the first movement. That's going to be a lunge lateral bend. So remember to take it at your pace, understand each of the movements, make sure you get the technique right before you get the pace in. Now for the first one, it's going to be a lunge lateral bend. So I want you all to come down the lunge position, knees down, drive your hip forward as much as you can. Feel that stretch on the hip flexor before we start. We're going to hold that stretch. Now, whichever leg is back, same hand goes up. From there, bend to the opposite side, come back to center. Make sure you're pushing your hip forward throughout. A small bend to the side and back to center. We're going to keep that pushed forward throughout. Starting in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Lean back and there. Lift the hand up, lean and back. Keep moving nice and slow. You're warming up, so you want to take it nice and easy. We know Season 1 was simple. We're going to take it up just a little bit in Season 2. 30 seconds on each side to make sure we open out those hip flexors and also get that lateral bend in your spine. Lift the hand up nice and high. Then we're going to switch side. Now, let's change side. 30 seconds on the other side. Take a nice big step forward. Drive the hip forward as much as you can. Let's begin. Remember to keep pushing your hip forward. It's okay for the knee to go forward. That's perfectly fine. Yeah? Just ensure, in case the knee is also going forward, which is very natural, the idea is to make sure the heel is down. Don't lift the heel up at any point. Keep the heel down, pressed. Push the knee forward and keep bending sideways and back to center. Sideways, back to center. 5 more seconds before we switch to the next movement. 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're going to switch to something called the inchworm. This is going to help us open out our hamstring. So for that, I want you all to start by start at the end of the mat. Yeah. Keep your feet at the ends of the mat, or you can keep it just outside if you feel your flexibility is currently restricted. From here, drive your hip back as much as you can without bending the knee. Walk down to the plank position. Hips have to come below shoulder level. From here, keep the legs straight. Walk back up. Stand tall. Okay, let's go. In case you're finding it hard to keep the leg straight, it's okay to slightly bend it. But make sure to feel that stretch on the hamstring through and through as you walk down and as you come back up. Ensure to keep your leg straight. Do not hold your breath. Keep that breathing in check. Just 30 seconds here, so 10 more seconds to go. Keep your legs slightly wider if you want to make it a little easier, and closer if you want to make it harder. Let's just get one more rep in. Excellent. Stand tall. Now the next one is going to be a world's greatest stretch. So for that, we're going to come down to that high plank position. Take a nice big step on the outside. So whichever leg is forward, push the knee forward. Keep your hip low. Same leg, whichever leg is forward, same hand comes down and up and rotate. Down, up and rotate. I want you to go down as much as you can. Okay? Let's do this. I'm going to do one side first, then the other. 3, 2, 1, go. Make sure you're pushing the hip down throughout the movement. Don't lift your hips up as you lift your hand up. Don't end up doing that. I want you to keep pushing the hip down throughout. Well done so far. Nice and slow on the warm-up. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to switch side now. Take a nice big step forward. Heel down and begin. Whichever leg is forward, same hand comes down and up. Keep moving. Make sure to push your hip down. Remember, I want you to push your hip down as much as you can. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about routine because it's a great way to start session 1, talking about that, so we get a good flow for the rest of the sessions. That's done. We're going to come back to the start position and we're going to move to our last movement of the warm-up of round number 1, which is going to be a child's pose to half cobra. Sit back on your heel. From there, drop your chest down as much as you can, hands all the way forward. Now, come forward, push the hip down, lift the chest up, look up. Squeeze your glutes when you do this. Don't let the load go into the spine. Okay, squeeze your glutes and then you go back. All the way back. Let's begin. Nice and slow. Please don't rush the movement. I want it to be controlled. Keep that controlled. Just watch my pace. I'm not trying to go fast. The idea over here is to get good range of motion and get the muscles warm before we start the main workout. That's all we're trying to achieve. We're not trying to get those extra calories by going fast or any such thing. It's to prep for the movements coming up. That's done. From here we go back to movement number 1, lunge lateral bend, round number 2. Push your hip forward as much as you can, heel is down, whichever leg is back, same hand goes up, lateral bend, back to center, keep moving. Make sure you're constantly pushing the hip forward. Remember what I said, I want you to feel that stretch through and through. Don't bring the hips back as you get the hands back to center. The hips are pushed forward throughout the movement. 15 seconds more. Hope you're doing good so far. Nice and easy. By now you should be just breaking into a sweat. Just about breaking into a sweat. Let's switch now. Let's go the other leg. Take a nice big step forward. Drive the hip forward. Heel is down. Feel that hip flexor stretch of the back leg. Same hand goes up, whichever leg is back, and twist. Just that light lateral bend. Lateral bend, the range is very limited, so don't try to go too far. Understand how much your spine can move sideways, and you pause there, come back to center. That's it. Keep it simple. Don't complicate anything, okay? Let's keep it simple. 10 more seconds. Including your routine, which I'm talking about. Don't complicate it. The idea is to make it simple so you're able to follow it. Yeah, I'm giving little pointers every now and then. Let's switch now. From here, we're going to go to an inchworm. So we're going to stand up, ends of the mat. If you're feeling comfortable, keep your feet closer. If you're not feeling comfortable, keep your legs wider, but not too wide. Bend your knee a little bit if it's going more than your shoulder width stance. Hips back. Walk down, come to that plank position, drop the hip just below shoulder level and then come back up. Stand tall every rep. Drive your hips back, walk down. You can pick up the pace just a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. We're still warming up. Even midway, if you feel comfortable, you can bring your feet slightly closer. Stop at that plank position. Don't drop your hips all the way down. Okay? One last rep for us to finish this movement. And then we move to world's greatest stretch. Let's go. Come to the high plank position. Take a nice big step forward. Press the heel down. Push the hip down. Whichever leg is forward, same hand. Drop down and up. Let's move. Remember what I said, round 1. Don't lift your hips up as you lift your hand up. Do not lift your hips up as you lift your hand up. When you lift your hand up, I want you to focus on rotating from the mid-spine and then coming back down, dropping and feeling that open out of the hips, feeling those muscles open out. Let's switch from here. Other side. Big step forward. Start in 3, 2, and 1. Remember, heel down, back leg. Try and keep it as straight as you can, depending on your flexibility. Clearly, as you can see, mine is not fully straight, but as straight as it can go, so I feel a good stretch. That's the same I want you all to do. Let's get one more rep in, and then switch. Now we're going to switch to the child's pose to half cobra. Sit back on your heel first, hands all the way forward, chest down. From here, slowly come forward, drop the hip down, lift the chest up, look up. Remember, I said slowly. Let's move. Don't try to move fast. The first exercise, we are working on the spine moving laterally as we open out the hip flexor. In this one, we are working on the flexion and extension of the spine. It's very important to keep the spine healthy. It's got good movement, so it's not loading other joints, and it's also able to take the load from the other ones. Yeah, and that's done. From here, we move into our main workout. So for the main workout today, we're going to be doing 30 seconds work, 10 seconds break. Have a quick sip of water. I'll again touch on the topic of routine. It's always good to have a fixed routine so you know what's up for the next day, or when are you going to be working out. Okay? Since we're talking about exercise over here, I'm going to stick to that topic. Some of you all might work out in the morning, some might work out in the evening. But what I actually want to tell you all is be a little flexible with that, just to make sure you're not getting overwhelmed, number one. And number two, you're able to get it in at a time when you happen to be free. Yeah, many a time when we travel, we think, oh, that's going to break my schedule. When you're traveling, if you're going to be a little bit more relaxed about it, you'll find the time to squeeze in a workout somewhere, which will be smaller and lighter, but it's something to just get the body moving. On that note, let's move to our main workout. So for the main workout, we have 5 movements, 30 seconds work, 10 seconds break. I'll take you all through each movement as we get there so it doesn't overwhelm you all. 4 rounds of that. So movement number 1 is going to be the hands up alternate reverse lunge. So why are we keeping the hands up? Because that challenges the balance aspect of lunges. That's the reason. We're going to amp it up just a little bit more. Yeah. So keep the hands up, step back, drop down, come back up. As you come up, I want you to squeeze your glutes. Make sure that's your powerhouse. So you've got to make sure you're using it through and through. Hands up, alternate leg. Touch the knee down, don't bang the knee down. Touch the knee down, back up. Yeah. 30 seconds of work over there. Let's begin this movement. I'll tell you the next one as we get there. Okay. 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Step back. Touch and back. As you're coming up, I want you to exhale. It's just 30 seconds, but this is round 1. So we're not going to focus on too much speed until we get good technique. So you can go a little fast, but not too fast. Keep the hands up straight, in line with the ears, not far away or elbows bent. Keep the hand pushed up. And that's done. 30 seconds is done there. The next one's going to be quad rockers. This one's going to bring that little burn on the quadriceps. Here's how we start. Start with your head forward in the plank position. Head forward. Very, very important. All fingers pressed against the floor. Straight line from shoulder to heel. Now from there, drop your knee down close to the floor. Take your hips back all the way. As you come forward, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your quads. That's it. I'll repeat. Knees close to the ground, drive your hips back. Hands are straight. As you come forward, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your quads. Yeah, that's movement number 2. Starting in 3, 2, and 1. Drive back. As you come forward, exhale and squeeze. Squeeze quads, squeeze glutes. If someone's very, very, very new to this, you can, as you go back, drop the knee down and then move back. As you come forward, get the knee off the floor again and come forward. That's your option. Okay? But try not to touch the knee down. Try not to touch down. Because you got to amp it up, right? You got to amp it up. It's okay to do lesser reps. And that's done. It's okay to do lesser reps, but try to do the challenging version in the right technique. The next one's going to be a side plank drops. We're going to be doing 30 seconds on each side. Here are your options. Your baseline is your elbow needs to be below shoulder. Option 1, bottom leg, knee down, top leg is straight. That's option 1. Hip forward, drop down and back up. Don't keep your hips back. I want you to push it forward, drop it down and up. That's the easier option. The tougher option, One leg over the other, hip forward, drop and up. Okay? That's going to be a tougher option. Choose whichever you know you're going to get the right technique. You can always do the easier one in round 1 and go to the tougher one in round number 2 since we have 4. Alright, let's start this in 3, 2, and 1. 30 seconds. Drop and up, drop down and up. Make sure you're going down straight and pull yourself up straight. Don't let it go forward and back. Drop and then pull yourself up. Yeah, that's how I want you to think of it. Elbow directly below shoulder. Very important. We've got 10 more seconds. Remember your options. You can drop that knee down there and do the same. It is still challenging. Okay? Switch now. We go to the other side. Turn around, 30 seconds on the other side. And begin. Dropping up. Make sure you're going down straight. The common mistake, especially when you get tired, is to start pushing the hips back. This is how it starts to look. I need you all there, through and through. Yeah? Stay with me. You have the option of dropping that bottom leg knee down. Bend the knee if you really need to. We've got 5 more seconds over here before we move to jumping jacks. 3, 2, and 1. Let's switch. From here, we're going to stand up. I think all of us know jumping jacks. I'm going to quickly run you all through it anyway. Feet close, hands close. Hands all the way up and come back here. This is where I want you all to finish. Hand up and then back here. I need your hands to touch, fingers to touch on top through every rep, okay? 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Up and back. Nice and easy. Guys, remember, you can always challenge yourself in the next 3 rounds if you're relatively new to working out. Building routine also means creating some sort of comfort. When it comes to exercise, you want to slowly build into it so you get comfortable and then start to challenge yourself little by little, and that's done. The next one's going to be a glute bridge lifts. For that, we're going to lie on our back. From here, keep your feet shoulder width apart and heel and toes down. Now lift your hips up all the way, drop, just touch and go back up. So when you go up, pause there for 1 second and squeeze your glutes. Squeeze that powerhouse. Let's start this in 3, 2, and 1. Go up, touch and back. When you go down, just touch and come back up. Pause there for 1 second, touch and back up. Yeah, it's like it's something hot, like a hot plate where you can't keep your hips down. Touch and back. Squeeze the glutes. Today is more focused on the lower body. Yes, we will work the upper body a little bit, but the focus is more on the lower body for today. Touch and back. We're right now round number 1 of 4. And that's done. From here, we will move to round number 2. Starting off with the alternate lunges with the hand up. Remember, I want your hands here. Not here, not here. Okay? Let's start this in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Did you think I was going to give you all some sort of a break after each round? I don't remember mentioning that anywhere. Okay? So keep coming. Movements are simple, but the combination is what is going to make it a little painful. Let's just keep it at that. Remember to touch that back knee down. Keep your back straight throughout. Exhale as you come up. Let's get 1 more rep in. From here, we switch to quad rockers. You have a 10-second breather. It's more like a transition time more than a breather. For the quad rockers, remember when you come forward, squeeze your quadriceps and your glutes. Starting in 3, 2, and 1. Move. Drive back, come forward, squeeze. For you to squeeze your glutes, you have to make sure that you're keeping it slightly below shoulder level, allowing that slight extension of the hip. Ensure you're moving back as much as you can, and as you come forward, push the head forward. Every single repetition, your head needs to be forward. Let's get 1 more rep in before we switch. And that's done. From here, we move to the side plank drops. 30 seconds aside, remember your options and use them wisely. You can switch in between also, okay? If you really feel that in between you're losing form, you're not getting the range, drop your knee and then you can come back after a few seconds always. 3, 2, 1, go. Drop it down straight and back up. Touching on the routine topic again. I'm going to keep speaking about it every now and then. One part's the exercise and the other part's the nutrition and sleep. That's equally important as part of the routine to make sure that you're recovering well and coming back strong whatever time it is that you're working out. So that also requires a bit of a routine. Let's switch sides now before I continue talking. Hand up, hip forward, let's go. Creating a particular time slot and trying to maintain as much as possible. Like I said, be a little flexible. It's okay that in case you decide that from 11 to 6 or whatever that you decide to sleep, it sometimes becomes earlier or a little later. That's okay. Am I saying make that a habit? No. But I'm saying be flexible so you're not overthinking certain things. Switch. From here we move to the jumping jacks. 30 seconds there. We are right now in round number 2 of 4. Feet close. Starting in 3, 2, and 1. Remember, you can pick up the pace if you feel the need for it. So here, a lot of people talking about, oh, I'm going to be traveling, my whole routine's going to get messed up. That's not really necessary because taking a break is very, very important. Yeah, and taking a break means from your daily routine. No, doesn't necessarily mean from your workout. Switch. 10-second breather and then we go to the glute bridge lifts. Let's get to position and continue talking. Drop down, feet shoulder width. Rest the head starting in 3, 2, and 1. Lift up, squeeze the glutes, touch down, go back up fast. So when you take a break, you're probably even going to take a break from working out for a day or so because you need that recovery sometimes, where you're just focusing on stretching, relaxing, walking, just kind of spending time with nature. Could be anything that helps you rejuvenate. But stretching and adding movement even on a recovery day is extremely helpful. In case it doesn't happen, that's okay. And when you go for your breaks, pause for now. So go to round number 3 and me continuing. And when we do go for your breaks, you can do a shorter workout just to get that dopamine hit. Talking about dopamine hit, let's go to round number 3 and get some extra dopamine hit. Now, we got 2 more rounds, okay? That's all we got. 3, 2, and 1. Let's move. Touching up. Back straight throughout. Hands are straight. I think it's a good time for me to say pick up the pace a little bit. Now, we've got familiar with the movements. We've understood what the techniques are that we need to keep in mind. Heel down. Back knee touching down. Back is straight. Hand is straight. Keep these pointers in mind and move a little quicker. That's it. Let's get one more rep in before we switch. And that's done. From here we move to quad rockers. 10-second breather and then we go. For your quad rockers, remember, squeeze. Yeah, that's the most important part of this movement. We really get the benefits of it. 3, head forward to start. 2, and 1, go. Move back all the way. As you come forward, squeeze your quadriceps, squeeze your glutes. I'm saying it again and again and again because that's how important it is to do that. That's why I'm emphasizing on that much more every single round. As you come forward, head needs to be forward. Yeah. Ensure you're pushing your head forward. Okay, that straight line in the body. And done. Brilliant. From here we go to the side plank drops. Round number 3. Let's get to position. Starting in 3, 2, and 1. Go. Dropping up. So guys, some of you all might need a slightly longer break. It's okay to take that 5 seconds extra. Yeah, that's fine. No one's judging you other than yourself. Alright, so take it easy. But if you're being lazy, then I'm judging you from far and wide. So remember that. In case you feel, hey, you know what, I'm kind of going out of breath, and you take those few extra seconds, please do it by all means. Let's switch. Hand up, hip forward, let's go. While you're doing these side plank hip drops, make sure you're dropping down as much as you can where your body is not moving forward or back. Okay? Drop down as much as you can. As you come up a little explosive and squeeze. Pause. Up and pause. Good job. 5 more seconds here. And we're done. From here, we're going to move to our jumping jacks. Feet close. A 10-second breather. Pick up the pace a little bit over here in round number 3. Okay, let's go. Stay on your toes throughout. Don't drop your heel down any point in time. Don't do that. Stay light. Stay on your toes throughout. Take a small step. Don't go too wide where it's slowing you down. Just a small step. Just shoulder width, a little bit more shoulder width. That's it. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Done. Brilliant. From here, glute bridge lifts. Lie down. Let's get ready. Feet shoulder width. Shoulders press down. Start. Squeeze your glutes on top. Touch and back. Let's go. Guys, remember this exercise is meant for us to work the glutes. So I want you all to put your mind into whatever it is that we're trying to work on. So in this particular movement is glutes, and it's more of an isolation, sort of. So I want you to squeeze, think about it, make sure you're squeezing the glutes, and then drop. Don't just move that way. Yeah. Pause, and then drop, and we're done. Round number 3 is done. One last round before you finish the main workout. That 10-second breather is going to get done very soon, which is about now. Remember what I said. Somebody wants that 5 seconds extra, please take it. Let's move. Last round. Dropping up, touching back. Remember to keep that hands extended. Every few reps, just remind yourself by pushing your hands up. Okay? Just get one more rep in after this, and then we move to the next movement, and that's done. From here, we move to the quad rockers. Eventually, on that lunge, we should be adding weights. Eventually, I'm not saying now. When I say eventually, usually we do something new. It's a minimum of 3 to 6 months before we take it up in that sense. There's a lot of ifs and buts to that, but talk about that later. Okay? Quad rockers, let's go. Drive back, push forward, squeeze the glutes. Squeeze, just pause there. Come here and pause for that 1 second before you move to the next rep. Pause and then move. Pause and then move. Brilliant. We've just got 10 more seconds here. Keep that moving. 5 more seconds before we move to the side plank. Keep your hands straight, and that's done. From here we move to the side plank hip drops. You know the options, knees and toes. We have 5 more seconds before we start. Elbow should be directly below the shoulder once you start the movement. 3, 2, 1, go. Keep pushing the hip forward. Breathe out as you come up. I'm exaggerating the breathing so you guys figure when the breathe out is happening. Elbow directly below shoulder. Very, very important part of this movement. If it's far ahead, it's going to hurt your shoulder. Let's switch. Other side. 30 seconds on the other side. Starting in 3, 2, and 1. Move. Yeah, this is a very, very important exercise for us to work our obliques, which also helps stabilize the rotation of the spine. When not needed, that makes sure it's working to ensure it doesn't rotate. Let's get one more rep in, and that's done. From here we move to jumping jacks. 2 more movements for us to finish the main workout. Feet together, starting in 3, 2, a little faster, okay? Go, move. Remember, feet should go maximum shoulder width. That's it. So you're able to move fast, keep the cardio up. What's the numbers for me? And the jumping jacks, it's hitting about 140, 145. 10 more seconds, my friends. Just 10 more seconds. Keep that coming. Good job. 3, 2, and 1. Brilliant. From here, you go to the glute bridge lift. Lie on your back. Last movement for the main workout. Lie down. Starting in 3, 2, and 1. Go. Squeeze the glutes and back. Touch. Up. Consciously squeeze the glutes. Squeeze. A lot of emphasis on the glutes because that's the powerhouse for all the movements. When your glutes ain't working efficiently, your lower back ends up taking a lot of the load, which we do not want. And that's done. Brilliant. That brings us to the end of the main workout. Are we done? No. We have just 4 more minutes. I'm going to let you guys have a quick sip of water before we start the last bit. That's going to be a Tabata routine, which is going to be dead bug, core, that's a core-centric movement, followed by arch extension, which is for the lower back. Now what's a Tabata? For somebody who's new, 20 seconds work, where we'll do the dead bug, 10 seconds break, 20 seconds work where we'll do the arch extension. 10 seconds break, that makes it 1 minute, and that's 1 round. Now we'll do 4 rounds of this, which makes it 4 minutes. Let me run you through the movement as you'll sip on water. We're gonna lie on our back for the first movement, which is your dead bug. So for the dead bug, the most important part is to press your lower back into the floor throughout. Knee in line with the hip. Knee in line with the hip. Press the lower back down. Just watch what I'm doing here with the hip. That is when your lower back is not pressed down. Now the lower back is pressed down. So squeezing it down. Hand comes up, shoulders are up. Opposite hand and leg. Slowly move. Hand goes back, leg goes forward. Come back to center. Then we go the other side. Back to center. Okay, that's going to be your dead bug. Arch extension is really simple, so I'm going to show you as we get there. Wouldn't need more than 10 seconds to run you all through it. This one, very important to keep the lower back pressed against the floor. That's when you're really working the core and talking about progress. On that note, let's get to position for round number 1 of our Tabata routine with the dead bug. Shoulders up, knee in line with the hips, starting in 3, 2, and 1. Opposite hand and leg. The non-working hand and leg should not move from its place. Just there. Watch my pace. I'm not going fast because I want you all to understand what's happening in this movement. Also, moving slower means harder. And that's done. From here, we're going to turn. Lie on your stomach. Arch extension is when your hand is forward all the way. Now, feet close in the back. Lift your hands and legs as much as you can. Drop down slow. Up as much as you can, drop down slow. Starting in 3, 2, and 1. Go. Up and back. Up and back. Brilliant work. Make sure to squeeze your glutes and your lower back. We're going to do 5 more seconds here before we get ready for round number 2, which is going to be a quick transition. And let's switch. Let's move to dead bug now. Round number 2, starting in 3, 2, and 1. We've got to move on the clock here. The transitions are really quick. The movements can be slow. Hold that low back. 3, 2, and 1. Let's switch. We are right now in round number 2. Arch extension. Hands forward. Legs close together. Starting in 3, 2, and 1. Go. Lift, pause, drop. Lift, pause, drop. Squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the lower back. We've got 10 more seconds here. We're in round number 2 of 4. Good work. Keeping it simple, and that's done. Let's switch. Get ready for round number 3, dead bug. Line your back. Knees directly above the hips. Hands up. Let's go. Get your hand back as much as you can and get the heel close to the ground. But don't touch either down on the floor. That's where the challenge is. And all this while you keep your lower back pressed against the floor. Let's get one more rep and then we switch. Let's switch. Arch extension. Last movement before we go to the last round. Let's start in 3, 2, and 1. Up and back. I was about to say last round, then I realized, hey, hold on, we're not yet there. Squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the lower back. Keep your hands straight. One more rep. Excellent. The reps are small. It's maybe 5, 6. But the transition and the constant movement makes it hard and challenging. It's a good challenge for your belt. Dead bug, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Lower back pressed against the floor. You're transitioning also because then we're not overloading one muscle, because we're just amping it up. Yeah, nice and easy, just little at a time. Let's switch. Arch extension. After this, we are done. Just letting you all know. 3, 2, 1, go. 20 seconds of work, and then we finish. Squeeze the quadriceps. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze the lower back. You're definitely going to feel it in your hammies as well. We've just got 5 more seconds. Lift the quads high. Lift the quads high. And that's done. Whew. All right, that feels good. That feels good. That's the end of the session. How are you feeling? Yeah, I'm feeling awesome after that. Finished off with the heart rate at 120. That's a good one. A short burst of exercise. And these are things that you can do wherever you are. Yeah? So I've added that line because I said even when you travel, try and squeeze in a little movement to ensure that your body is at its maximum range through and through, and also keeps your metabolism in place, helps that blood flow, keeps that dopamine hit, all of that. On that note, have a quick sip of water and then we'll start the stretches. And I will give you all a little challenge at the end, which is going to be something to do with routine. Quick sip of water, then our first stretch is going to be child's pose. While you all sip on water, keep it a hint of what this is. Since it's something to do with routine, we all have something that could be a cup of coffee, it could be just drinking water, it could be, I don't know, just opening the door and just looking at the sunrise over there. I don't know what it is for each one, but whatever it is, just think about it a little as we stretch, and I'll tell you all what I want you all to do as a challenge at the end. It's not going to be a movement-based challenge on this session. Now, let's start with the child's pose. Sit back as much as you can, hands all the way forward. Allow the mind to kind of slow down now, because you want to be at ease by the end of the stretches. Hands all the way forward. Get the chest as close to the knee as possible. Hips as close to the heel as possible. Hands all the way forward. We're going to hold this for 5 more seconds. Just breathe, nice deep breaths. 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're going to switch to the quad stretch. You have the option of standing and doing the same. So I'll show you the standing one first, in case you're losing balance there. This is what the standing one. You could rest against the wall, against the sofa or something. For the ones who are comfortable, option 1, keep that hand inside and hold the ankle in the back. Option 2 is to come up, either keep your hand on your knee or grab the ankle with both hands. Drive the hip forward as much as you can. 10 seconds. Lift the chest up if you're either keeping your hand on the knee or holding the ankle. Let's switch now. Other leg. You know your options. You can stand up or you can keep one hand down on the inside, grab the ankle in the back. Last option, chest up, hip forward. Nice deep breaths. Nice deep breaths. Keep pushing the hip forward. Gonna hold this for 5 more seconds. And relax. Now the next one is something called the seated spinal twist. So one leg comes down, so that's rested there. The opposite leg comes up. Yeah, you got to bring it on the other side of the leg that's resting. Whichever leg is up, opposite hand is what you're going to hold your knee with. Yeah, you could be just holding the knee there and just twist as much as you can. Chest up, lean forward a little. Keep breathing, deep breaths. 5 more seconds. Switch, slowly release first. Now we're gonna switch side. Get that leg down. Opposite leg comes up and cross. Whichever leg is up, opposite hand is what you're gonna hold that knee with. And twist your chest towards the leg that's up, towards the knee that's up. Five more seconds. Slowly release. From here, we're going to stand up and do the standing straddle. Get your legs wide, where you feel that light stretch on the inner thigh. Okay? Go as much as you can where you feel that light stretch. From there, you're going to drive your hips back. Reach your hands down. Stay over there. Keep pushing the hips back. Make sure your leg is straight. Going to hold this for 5 more seconds. Deepen that stretch by dropping the upper body a little lower every few breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back to center. Now from there, one leg goes back. Yeah. Make sure there's space. You're not kind of cramping your legs there. Yeah. To start, both your legs are straight. Now, whichever leg is back, I want the same hand to go up, whichever leg is back. Drop that hand the opposite side. Bend the front knee, push the hips out. Bend the front knee, push the hips out. Only the front knee. Okay? Make sure you're bending sideways, you're still looking forward. 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back to center first. Now switch. Opposite leg goes back. Both your legs straight to start. Whichever leg is back, same hand goes up. Drop sideways. Push your hips out, front knee bent. Push your hips out, front knee bent. Five more seconds. And come back to center. Excellent work, guys. Brilliant work. Pat yourself on the back. That's a great start. Yeah. That was session 1 of Amp It Up Season 2. Now, talking about that routine. This is going to be an open one. Yeah. So I want you to share on our Stronger Together community page on Facebook. Here's what I want you all to share as today's challenge. Whatever it is that is that particular routine that you really enjoy. Yeah. Enjoy doesn't mean it brings a smile on your face. Something that you like to do every single day. It could be as simple as, for me, it's after breakfast, I like to have a cup of coffee. Yeah? For somebody, it could be just before you go to bed, you like to read a book. For somebody else, it could be as you wake up, you like to kind of draw your curtains and have a look at the trees or the sun or whatever it is. It could be anything. It's the most random thing because it's going to be different for different people because all of us are different. Yeah? So whatever it is that it is for you, say it and share that with us on our community page, Stronger Together. Yeah? We're all there. So let's make the most of that. That's our home. Yeah? So let's ensure we all do that. I'm waiting to see that. On that note, I'm going to be signing off on session 1. Thank you so much. I'll see you all soon.
For more such workout videos, download the CultFit app now. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Cult.